Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gia Rodio. The impact Alexa has had on millennial users. How has Alexa negatively impacted millennial users in the United States in the past 5 years? Alexa has done this by creating stereotypes based off of personal information, creating the possibility of hackers to steal this information, and lastly, by limiting the information that is given to the user through responses. First, let's look into how Alexa has created stereotypes based off both gender and ethnicity. Alexa presents women with a stereotypical role that would fit best into society. The image on the right depicts a good representation of this by showing how the man is standing on the same scale as the woman in the world, but is still seen as larger and stronger as the woman is seen as shorter and smaller. While ethnicity is typed based off of accent and education level. To put this into perspective, if a woman asks about job opportunities, they'll be presented with a nurse over a doctor. And this is simply because society views it as more fitting for a woman's role opposed to a man. And according to Rachel Adams, these devices appear to reproduce harmful gender stereotypes, which in society is shown as the type of work women should be performing. While if a man was asked about job opportunities, he would be presented with the stronger role, which would be considered harder. So he would be seen as the doctor over the nurse. Alexa also can pick up on different accents and often has a hard time understanding them. If you look at the chart on the right-hand side, it's blocked by the screen, but you can see that 86% of the overall accuracy is understood by Alexa, which is not adequate for a device that is supposed to be fit for all users. This shows how it can provide users with different accents a dumbed-down response, and it assumes that these users have a lower level of education than most because of the different accent that they have. And according to Trevor Cox, users with strong accents are inferred as less educated because this data is skewed by social stereotypes. This could lead smart speakers to give users with stronger accents a dumbed-down response and assume that they are less educated. Alexa can also lead to hacking. Video surveillances can be hacked through voice assistants and hackers. The image on the right is a display of how the videos can be set up in homes, and it shows how the woman is talking to a family. You could see every character in the family and her entire background behind her. And stated by Schultz, it says that hackers can break into your home security systems and even your nanny cams to steal your data and reprogram them for nefarious ends. This can be terrifying as a user to know that your camera can still be on while you're doing your everyday life, especially if you have children. They can be watched by criminals. Hackers can also track your credentials and monitor your activity. James Clapper continues to explain that companies can monitor what you do from your end, and they can steal your credentials and use this information against you. These devices are pre-screening your information and monitoring what you search up. Companies can watch for certain activity to find who to give their information to. For example, your ads and searches are narrowed down and they don't present you with all of the possible outcomes that you may receive. For example, someone that is constantly looking up different workouts is more likely to get ads for gym memberships and diets, which limits them of the possibilities that they may have experienced, which is a main reason why a lot of users purchase these devices in the first place. Also, these devices are constantly listening, even without being enabled, which is not only violating your personal life, but quite terrifying. An example of this could be if a couple is constantly bickering, the chances are that the next ad or suggestion given by Alexa will be for marriage counseling or a divorce lawyer before it's for a family fun trip to an amusement park or an experience you can enjoy. Now, despite these negatives, this may be found helpful. For example, shopping. If Alexa already has your previous shopping history and your likes, this can be making the process so much easier or faster. They can utilize your interests and use this to help you. This goes the same way for music taste. Alexa can read your mood and your past searches in liked artists. The image on the left shows just how easily your phone can connect to these speakers and play not only your playlist, but other artists that you're interested in based off what you've already searched up. Music is already a huge part in most millennials' daily life, so this is a large bonus for a lot of millennials today. As technology continues to develop and advance, these issues will begin to be prevented and avoided. There will be more developed security for the user's personal information, and you will start to see a decrease in your information being hacked. And this will promote less monitoring of your personal information by large companies. Alexa's main impact on millennials has been negative throughout this process, although there have been positive aspects. Over time, technology will only continue to advance and create more features for usage and security, and you will see different prototypes beginning to come out with more features and more help that's available to the user to make sure that their safety and security is ensured. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
I do have 2 questions for you. All right, first question. How valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and how do you know that they were?
I found my sources pretty valid and reliable as I found them through Google Scholars and Google Scholar articles. The majority of my articles did come from research articles or journals, so I found those to be pretty reliable and credible. Although some information I found helped me, it was not from a reliable source, so I did not involve that into my presentation. But it did give me a base knowledge for further searches that I could use.
Okay, and what advice would you have for other researchers that consider this topic?
Some advice I would have in the future, as technology and the Internet of Things is constantly changing and developing, as specifically Alexa is particularly new. There will continue to be different prototypes and different devices of the same sort. And because this is new, there are limited resources that you can find about it online. But as these devices continue to come out, there will be more information and more resources you could find. So I would tell a future researcher to be open-minded towards specific searches, as I was using keywords specifically like stereotypes with Alexa to help me. It's hard to find specific research on newer topics. So I would say be open-minded and be open to changing claims as you find research that develops and helps you with your thesis.
Okay,